Hey everyone, a few days ago I went to a thrift store and they had a bunch of tapes out front for free. So I picked up a bunch of them, and one of the ones I was really curious about was this blank tape that said Sesame Street on it. And so I dug out my VCR, one of my VCRs, I have a couple of them in the hallway. I hooked it up to a spare TV, set it up in the corner here because that's the only place there was any space. And then I tried to play it, but unfortunately it uh, it looks like at one point this was a really nice high quality tape, but unfortunately it skips, the picture disappears. I tried running a cleaner through the VCR and that didn't help. But I dug out a whole bunch of tapes. I had way more tapes lying around than I realized. And I was playing all of them and they all play just fine. In fact, I'm impressed by how well they've held up over the years. Some of these tapes, they look brand new, and in some cases, they rival the DVDs in terms of quality. So yeah, I've just been spending a couple days watching through a bunch of old tapes that I had lying around. And so let's see, I dug out all this stuff that isn't on DVD. I can't watch DVDs of this stuff. I have to watch the tapes. And so here's my Stars of Space Jam Daffy Duck tape, which has Holiday for Drumsticks, which on the DVD edition of this, it's gone for whatever reason. I have no idea why in the world Holiday for Drumsticks was cut out. It's not like there was any kind of racial caricatures in there that were would be considered offensive. It's just a couple of hillbillies are trying to cook Daffy Duck, and I think that's it. I don't think there's anything outwardly offensive in it. So anyway, I was going through a whole bunch of other tapes. There's a bunch of stuff that has built up over the years, and I just didn't have my VCR hooked up, so I couldn't watch it. So let's see, what else do I got here? Oh yeah, this is something. See, I got this All Dogs Go to Heaven tape a while ago. I have the DVD, but I mean, this is if you want the experience, you gotta watch the VHS. And this is one of those ones where I was really surprised the quality holds up perfectly on this tape. This looks brand new. I could have bought this yesterday, brand new from the store, brought it home, put it in my VCR, and it actually is all better than my DVD, which skips for no reason. And then, let's see, here's an old thing that I got years and years ago. This was from a school sale or library sale or something. Anyway, it's the Mystery Science Theater episode of Godzilla vs. Megalon, and they even printed out their own custom cover for it, which is nice. Though they didn't have a custom cover for the box. The box is just like a blank tape box with the top scratched off there. Maybe they're going to try and print the label on the cover there? Okay, what else? Oh, this is a cool thing. I have these couple of Looney Tunes The Collector's Editions tapes. These have a whole bunch of Looney Tunes episodes on there. Let's see, I think... oh, there it is. This was the first place I saw the Dover Boys cartoon, which is weird because that cartoon is in public domain. I'm surprised it wasn't more all over the place, because I never saw that, and I had tons of public domain Looney Tune tapes, but yeah, the only one I've ever seen that had it is this licensed by Columbia House and Warner Brothers tape. So yeah, label there, and they come in nice plastic clamshell cases. These were super high quality tapes. These were really, really nice, and these still play just fine, and they look great. Again, rivaling DVD quality. And also, I was able to watch this old thing that I haven't seen since I was really little. Lucky Luke, The Ballad of the Daltons. There's another Lucky Luke movie I have, Daisy Town. This I actually found a DVD copy of, and I've watched it since. But not this one. This one I haven't seen since I was maybe 13, 14 maybe? And watching it again, I was quite shocked by some of the... yeah, this is one of those movies that probably doesn't get too many home video releases due to racial insensitivities. There's a Chinese guy who barely looks human. There's a Native American guy who honestly isn't the worst adaptation of a Native American guy. I think the first movie, Daisy Town, actually had a worse depiction, more stereotypical. But anyway, it's an okay movie. It's just unfortunate that it has those... Oh, that reminds me, actually. All Dogs Go to Heaven. There's a bit with Itchy at the beginning. He makes a joke about Siam or something, and he, for like a few seconds, turns into a Chinese caricature, which is... Wow, I did not remember that. And this isn't a movie that, like, I haven't watched since I was a kid. I watched All Dogs Go to Heaven when I was, like, 16, 17, 18 or something. But I did not remember that part. Anyway, moving on to other things. Here we got some Bible Man tapes. Yeah, the goofy Christian superhero Bible Man. Very Adam West Batman inspired. And one of the tapes I have that was really interesting is Bible Man God Loves to Laugh. Oh, Bible Man Jr. is what this one is called. And on YouTube, I had seen there's a clip from one of the Bible Man Jr. tapes where Jim Varney is in there. And so I knew I had a Bible Man Jr. tape, and I was like, oh, cool, is this the one with Jim Varney? No, it isn't, unfortunately. He's only in the first volume. Rats. Anyway, this is okay. It's got these like little Muppet characters, and that's kind of a cool thing. Oh, there's one on the back there. Yeah. The unfortunate thing, like, Bible Man typically is all about, like, it's a goofy superhero show with a superhero who quotes Bible verses to the bad guys and fights with lightsabers, and then Bible Man Jr. is just them standing around and singing, and it's... like, I can see why it's for kids. Okay, moving on to another thing. Here we got The Red Balloon. This is a cool thing I found. I don't remember. I think I found this at the thrift store. And I had this on tape when I was a kid. I never had it on DVD, so I was able to watch this again for the first time, and man, this was such a cool thing. It's a bizarre, surreal movie. Perfect for kids. Like, it's a really good kids movie, and it's also, like, just... it is a very interestingly shot movie. It's a very artsy type of movie. Oh, and then this is something. A while ago at a flea market, I got a box of stuff, and it had these couple of Lee Trevino's Priceless Golf Tips VHSs. Oh, and there's like a little time code chapter list there. Your VCR has a timer, I guess. So I put these in because I was curious, like, so what's so special about this guy? And he's not particularly charismatic or anything. So I guess, like, I don't know, there was genuinely, like, a want for these, or there was a market for, golf tip VHSs from Paramount. Yeah, if these were from Paramount, these aren't like a little indie thing either. They're from Paramount. These were a big deal, apparently. Big enough to be released through an actual studio. Very weird. I didn't watch the whole things, because I don't care about golf. Okay, so anyway, after playing a couple of things through my VCR, I put in another tape, and we got static and tracking problems. I was like, okay, that's not good. Guess it's time to pull out my my VCR head cleaner here. Let's see, this is a weird box. We got a little flap here that opens up in the back. And the top pops open like that. Oh, doesn't that, and then... it's stuck in there. Okay, there we go, finally. And so here we go. Here's the VCR head cleaner tape. You can open up the top of it, see the little cleaning band there. And unlike most cleaning tapes, this is like a normal-sized box. Well, it's got this little flap on the top. That's kind of unusual, because the little cleaning fluid is like in a little compartment on the tape itself. That's unusual. I don't usually see ones like that. Usually the cleaning fluid is like just like a separate thing. It's not actually in the like case of the VHS casing itself. That is very strange. One of the things I got years ago that I really wanted to watch, but I never could because I didn't have a VCR, is the third volume of Street Sharks on tape, Shark and Roll. This has, I don't know, on the back it doesn't say the titles, it just says Shark Saga Part 1, Part 2. So anyway, the episode with rocks, I'm pretty sure, is called Shark and Roll. The second one is one with robots. There's a picture of one of them on the back there. I can't remember what these guys were called. But yeah, I really wanted to watch this, but I never had my VCR hooked up. So I finally hooked it up. I was able to watch this. And also, I have the first two volumes of Street Shark, so I can watch these if I want. Oh, I never rewound this one. I'll have to fix that later. And then here we got the second one. See, this one introduces... Oh, and it's got some mold on the tape there, so maybe I don't want to play that one. That's something that I've got to keep like an eye out for now, apparently, is tapes with mold on the actual tape. Let's see, I was digging through a bunch of tapes in the hallway, and I have a bunch of old Disney tapes, and here we got Mulan, and Mulan I bought brand new when I was a kid, or well, my grandparents did, and I like to think I took good care of it, but apparently that didn't matter because it's got some mold on it. I don't know if that shows up at all. You can maybe see it. Also, the white spindles, completely discolored. They're completely yellow now. I don't know what in the world happened to this poor Mulan tape, but man, that's unfortunate. Okay, this is a really cool thing. Now, I had these old Twilight Zone tapes I was planning on selling to the comic book store, but they didn't want them, so I was just kind of stuck with them. And when I got my VCR hooked up, I was like, you know what, some of these have my favorite episodes on there, so yeah, I'll give these a watch. And one of the cool things with these Twilight Zone tapes, the front opens up and you got liner notes talking about behind the scenes of some of the episodes. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Though they get stuck with static sometimes. And the Twilight Zone tapes, I was really surprised. Like, again, these look incredible. Like, they don't look degraded at all. They rival the DVD for quality. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the tapes look better than the DVDs in some cases. And then, let's see, one of the weird things, let's see, I have a couple old tapes, like, right here we got, the old Legend of Zelda cartoon, The Ringer, which also has the live-action Super Mario Brothers show segments with, let's see, Ernie Hudson guest starring. Then there's another one with, Frankenstein creating a monster, and Mario gets Frankenstein and his brain switched around or something. Anyway, I couldn't really watch this a lot when I was younger because it didn't work right. The tape would skip, it was really staticky, but, like, I looked at it, it doesn't have mold or anything on it, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it out in my new VCR, and it played perfectly. It looked great. There wasn't a single issue with it. So I'm wondering, was my old VCR just a piece of crap, and this one is, like, really good and works the way it's supposed to or something? Well, this was something that I got at the thrift store. Like, one of the reasons why I hooked up the VCR, this old Baby Huey tape. This is just like one I used to have when I was a kid. I watched the Baby Huey episode. I didn't watch the other cartoons on it, though. This is an old thing I used to watch a lot for some reason. Hollywood Bloopers Uncensored. There's actual nudity in here, which was kind of shocking considering... let's see, this is from Scimitar. There's no rate... Okay, on the back it does say brief nudity and mild language. But yeah, I used to watch this a lot because it's really, really funny, especially the Rowan and Martin's laughing bits. Those are hilarious, and you can find some of them on YouTube, but not all of them. Like, there's a couple of parts, like my favorite one is the one where, let's see, there's, what was it, Don Rickles and Ruth Buzzy are sitting on the bench, and Artie Johnson comes in behind them, and he's, like, singing to himself. There's this one really funny one on here that you can't find on YouTube, or at least I couldn't in any of the compilations I found, where, let's see, he's coming in and he's humming, a blister on your thing can be painful. I love that, and it's completely gone on YouTube, but I can watch it on this tape now. Awesome! They're preserved forever on tape, as long as this doesn't biodegrade, which will probably be a couple thousand years or whatever. So, hopefully, at some point, maybe somebody can digitally rip this tape or something and upload those bits to YouTube. There's another really funny one. Oh yeah, now I remember. It's Ruth Buzzy sitting on the bench. I think it's just her by herself, and Artie Johnson standing behind her, and he just deadpan, "What you gonna do, fart?" Okay, moving on. Let's see, here we got, I just watched this last night, Dolores Claiborne. I found this at the thrift store for free. Oh, and it's from Spencer Library, apparently. Thanks, Spencer Library. I don't really know why they gave away the tape, because it works perfectly fine. It looks great. It's in full screen, unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure this is intended to be in widescreen. I don't know for sure. I don't see the little, like, this has been formatted to fit your screen on here, but yeah, a really good movie. I really like this movie. It's pretty good. It's a Stephen King adaptation, but it's not a horror movie. Not really. It's more of a family interpersonal drama movie. There is, like, a murder that or, well, kinda murder. Watch it for yourself. Oh, and one of the things I decided to test out my VCR with was this Simpsons Go Hollywood tape that I got a while ago. I found this tape, I just got it because I thought, oh, that's cool. You don't usually see Simpsons tapes, which is actually kind of surprising considering how big Simpsons was at the time, in the 90s when tapes were, like, booming at their highest. But yeah, for whatever reason, not a whole lot of Simpsons tapes. So anyway, this one has Who Shot Mr. Burns, Part 1, Part 2, and at first I just put it in to see if it would work, to test out my VCR, and I didn't think I would, like, actually sit there and watch the whole thing, but I did. I sat there and watched the whole thing because it's classic Simpsons, it's peak Simpsons, it's frickin' awesome, and so much better than I remembered because, you know, I don't think I've actually watched those episodes in years. And so anyway, I was getting really into playing around with the VCR, so I dug out a whole bunch of old tapes I have, which are mostly like old cartoon compilations. Here we got a Tiny Toons tape, let's see, The Best of Buster and Babs. This has Prom Miss Her Anything and 13-something. Let's see, it's prom night, the first episode. They're looking for prom dates, and there's goofy prom hijinks. The second episode, let's see, 13-something is a parody of the old soap opera 30-something. Anyway, cover is really faded because I got it from an old video store. That's just a thing. And here we got Bobby's World. This is a fun thing. I haven't watched that in years. And then, let's see, Dragon Tales. Let's All Share. Which, let's see, I watched the beginning of, I didn't watch the whole thing. I like Dragon Tales, but yeah, I didn't feel like watching it, I guess. And here we got an old Doug tape, which I didn't watch yet. And, oh, here's another thing, kind of like that Legend of Zelda cartoon. I didn't watch this Adventures in Odyssey tape a lot because it didn't work on the old VCR. I thought it was something wrong with the tape. But no, I guess it was just that VCR was a piece of crap, because this one plays it and it looks beautiful. It looks perfect. It looks pristine. And then here we got Fairly Odd Parents Channel Chasers. I haven't watched this in years because, like, I used to watch it a ton as a kid. I have, like, the whole movie memorized, basically. But, yeah, I did kind of want to watch it again. But for whatever reason, I just never found the DVD anywhere. But yeah, I have the tape now, and I have a VCR hooked up, so yeah, I can definitely watch that. And then, let's see, here we got the Lost in Space movie. I watched the commercials at the beginning. I didn't watch the actual movie because I just didn't feel like sitting there for an hour and a half or whatever. So I was having a lot of fun with my VCR and watching all these old tapes that I haven't been able to see for years or whatever, and so then I was, like, digging out all my old tapes, and I dug out the Spawn movie. I used to love the Spawn movie. I went to put it in, and it would not go in, and I couldn't figure out what was up with it, and then I eventually figured out there's, like, a weird bump or something. Right here, you can kind of see it, like, raises up here, so it literally just will not fit in the VCR. And it's not rewound either, so apparently somebody was able to put this in at some point and play it, but yeah, I can't now because part of the tape warped or something? Like the casing itself warped? I don't know. I've never seen that type of thing anywhere else. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. I guess I can't watch the Spawn movie on tape. That's unfortunate. And then here we got Rambo First Blood, which I probably could play, but I just don't want to. Oh, you can see, yeah, the mold very clear here. You can really see it there. This VCR has been working so well. Like, even with the cleaner, and I have, like, the little fluid bottle is full. I have a couple other cleaner tapes lying around here and there, but I don't want to risk messing up this VCR because it's working really nice, so I don't want to risk playing something with mold all over it. And you know, that's kind of a weird thing. When I was a kid, I never encountered tapes with mold on them. But now I am. And it's weird because there's tapes older than some of them that, like, they look pristine and perfect, and then other ones, like, they're newer and they have mold all over. Very unusual. I don't know what the story is. Some of the first tapes I watched on my VCR were old cartoon tapes I dug out. One of them was one I got very recently, this Ninja Turtles tape, Invasion of the Turtle Snatchers. It's a pretty good episode. I like this one. And then, let's see, I dug this thing out. Fat Albert. Yeah, I like Fat Albert. Jump scare when Bill Cosby pops in there. I can kind of see why, like, Fat Albert's fallen out of, popularity, relevance, because, like, it's a really good cartoon. This is really good, but, like, the problem is that Bill Cosby can't keep himself out of it. Like, he introduces the thing, he gives the moral lesson at the end, then he also pops up in the middle a couple of times. I'm assuming when this was on TV back in the 80s, he was there to, like, as the commercial bumper, kind of. But then he's kept on the tapes, which, yeah. On future releases, maybe just cut him out to avoid the association. Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. As far as I know, this has never gotten, like, a proper DVD release. The closest is, I think this was included on a, like, Kiss concert compilation as a bonus feature, but it was edited. I don't know what exactly was edited, though. There's a teeny tiny bit of, like, that white mold around the tape there, but I don't know. I might risk it, because I just really want to watch this again. Oh, also, this is from a video store. Video Paradise. That's cool. No idea who they are. The Spanish edition of the Beetleborgs Shadowborg VHS. Dubbed in Spanish. The weird thing, the opening theme song, what they did is they just took the lyrics out, but there's still closed captioning. So, yeah, the closed captioning is just the English version. I don't think it says closed captioned anywhere. But anyway, pretty interesting to see Beetleborgs in Spanish. Because, yeah, I've never seen any of it in Spanish before finding this tape. Doug's first movie. I can finally see the Doug-umentary again. Even if I bought the official DVD release of Doug's first movie, I'm not getting the whole movie. And also, the DVD is in full screen only, just like the tape is. So, yeah, the tape is superior to the DVD, because this actually is the whole movie. Like, the whole end credits. Half the end credits are cut off the normal DVD for some dumb reason. Another tape I put in just to test out my VCR, kind of like that Simpsons tape, is this old South Park tape. I used to have, I think, almost all the old South Park tapes they put out for Season 1, but I gave them away. I don't remember. I don't know where they all went to, but anyway, I had this one that I got, like, from a thrift store or something. It's got a big Blockbuster previewed sticker. It's got another gigantic sticker on the back. The tape's covered with stickers. There's one. Oh, there's the one on the front there. But yeah, I put this in just to test out my VCR, and it worked, but then I found myself, like, sitting there and watching the tape, and I found myself really invested, and I was just sitting there watching the whole thing. I don't know what exactly it was, but I really like these couple of episodes on this tape, and, you know, I'd love to find these old South Park tapes again, just to, like, for the nostalgia. I got a whole bunch of Godzilla tapes. Years ago, I used to have a bunch of, like, more Godzilla tapes, but as the years went on, I gave them away because I got the DVDs, but now I kind of want to collect them again, so I've been trying to find Godzilla tapes, but yeah, tapes are surprisingly hard to find now. Like, good ones. Like, I used to find, like, decent Godzilla tapes and, like, other monster movies. Like, I used to have a couple of Gamera tapes and War of the Gargantuas, but yeah, I can't find any of that now. That's unfortunate. Okay, moving on. Here's a kind of interesting story. I found this Treasure Planet tape, and it had a bunch of little, like, commercials and stuff in there, including this one that says, free, send away for a storybook. And it turns out I have that storybook. I found this at a thrift store. And, let's see, this was donated by Bright Red Bookshelf, which is some kind of, book trade thing for kids, but Yeah, now I own it, and no kid is ever going to read it because it's mine, and it's going to sit on a shelf where I'll probably never look at it again. Here's a cool thing. Guyver 2 Dark Hero. I don't have, like, the proper box, unfortunately. Oh, but it's in this case that I got from Mike's Showtime, an old local video store. I sure do miss them. Okay, move some of this stuff out of the way. You can see there's my VCR down there under the pile of tapes and stuff. And, oh, last night I watched the Muppet movie VHS. Looks amazing. And then up here is my TV. Or, well, not really a TV. I think this is actually an old computer monitor. I found it on the side of the road. Somebody was throwing it away, but, like, it's in good shape. Oh, and right here's a couple of those tapes that don't work. There's a Sonic Boom figure there for some reason. And it's sitting on a whole bunch of comics that are doubles I don't really need. Oh, and here's some more tapes. We got Woody Woodpecker, this Bruce Lee imitator movie, Bruce on the Loose, which has a really interesting cover there. No idea what's going on there. Let's see, we got a Spider-Man tape. Super Dave, which is interesting because the DVD, or well, bootleg Blu-ray that I have of Super Dave there, it's like a weird edited version where, oh wait, no, this is the edited version on tape. That little guy there with the big hat on the far right, Fuji, the original version of this, he's dubbed over with a pretty yikesy, like, World War II Japanese voice, so yeah, he went back and relooped the episodes, and sounds a little better now. And I never realized that, because this was the only Super Dave thing I ever saw as a kid. And then under that we got Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, then a couple of Power Rangers tapes, and now we can finally start seeing my VCR a little up closer. The light isn't turning on my phone camera for some reason, but I don't know if you can see. I guess not. Anyway, it says RCA. So I guess find yourself an old RCA VCR. They work pretty good, or at least mine does. And so, yeah, here's a bunch of big pile of tapes and stuff I've got here. Oh, and then also I've got a couple of Betamax tapes here, which, I don't know why I have them here, since, yeah, they're not going to play in this. They wouldn't even fit. They're cool to have as a novelty, I guess, but yeah, I won't be able to play those. So yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.